Every once in a while, we get a phone call asking for help. Somewhere inside this pillar is a honeybee colony that has been residing there for a couple of years. Now, these pillars date back to the 1800s, and they're starting to fall apart, and it's becoming a safety hazard to the homeowner. So today, with the help of a team, they must come down. I'm listening so carefully with my stethoscope, trying to see if I can hear them vibrate as they cluster to keep each other warm. I faintly hear them, like a heartbeat. I feel they're still in there. Now the trick is, will we be able to get to them? It's about 40 degrees. We don't want to open up the entire pillar and expose them to the cold. I'm so thankful this homeowner took the time to give us a call and say, I need help. I don't want to hurt these bees. Can you try? We waited for the right day. A day that it was chilly enough that the bees were still inside their colony. A day where we had a group of people together to help us take these pillars down. But safety will always be my main concern when it comes to rescues. So even though the bees are actually not out flying right now, I'm going to be climbing about 15 to 20 feet up. So I suit up and I make sure that I have my mesh that I'll be stapling to the entrance of where the bees were said to be coming in and out last. The homeowner did notice a woodpecker problem recently, and it appears that that is exactly where the bees were using to come in and out of the pillar as their entrance and exit. So I gather my items and I get ready to start climbing. It is moments like this that I realize I am so thankful that I am not afraid of heights. I just go slow, one step at a time, slowly leading up to the entrance of the colony. I want to see what's inside. I want to see what I'm dealing with. Will there be guard bees? Will they come after me? What am I going to be facing? That is what I think of when I'm getting ready to do a complete cutout or a colony rescue. So I staple the entrance, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I don't want the bees to actually come out. Now, I mentioned earlier that it was 40 degrees. I'm hoping that the bees will stay in a cluster and not be too bothered by us, but just in case, the screen is covering the entrance, and we're going to slowly work on the other pillar. Now this pillar, I didn't hear the bees like I did on the other one. Even though the other one was faint, I still was not 100% sold that that is what I heard. You see, on this day that we were actually doing this, the property beside their home was being cleared by multiple tractors. So I wasn't 100% sure on either of them, but definitely this one, I didn't hear anything like on the other. You never know sometimes, but it's easier to just be prepared, secure the opening, and have a plan. Now, I knew that this pillar was going to be completely hollow from top to bottom, minus the comb that the bees had built. Now, my plan was to actually use 2 pieces of plywood to secure to the top and the bottom, depending on what we were going to find. I'm not convinced about this pillar though. Soon enough, we'll all be able to find out if the bees actually survived or not. We're seconds away from seeing if this is a thriving colony inside this pillar. We slowly jack it up as we support the roof. I'm holding my breath. I'm holding my breath because I don't want anyone to be in danger. I am the only one wearing a suit. But again, this pillar, I really wasn't convinced. I wasn't convinced that anything was in it. Maybe there had been something, but it's time to investigate. I don't hear anything. I don't feel anything. I can smell the comb, but I don't think they made it. After bracing the pillar for a couple of seconds, we realized that nothing was happening. I had my plywood ready, but all we needed to do was lower it down. I wanted to see what we were dealing with. Was it a dead out? Were there actually bees in it? I believed them. I could smell it. The pillar was a lot lighter than what I anticipated, and we slowly began to lower it down so I can get a better look. Nothing. No bees. Nothing. My heart started to feel for the owner of this house. He wanted so bad for these bees to survive. But it just wasn't happening. I realized going through the comb that a rodent had made their nest inside the colony up top where the woodpeckers have decided to open up. And it was then that I realized that the bees were gone. The nest was there. The comb looked good. It was fairly new, some old, but this colony was no threat. Now on to the next. That moment of holding my breath happened again as we began to jack up the brace to slowly pull out the pillar. Every inch, my adrenaline rush started to creep in little by little. We wiggled the pillar. Nothing. No bees. Nothing happening. Was this one gone as well? Was it too late? But I swear I could hear them. I just couldn't see them. I peek in, knowing that the bottom was completely intact and closed off. But this is what I see. I see more comb, but no bees. I had it pretty secured at the top. So was there a barrier that prevented me from getting deeper into this pillar? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I could feel slight vibration, but not enough. It was still very faint. I'm gonna take them anyways. I'm gonna take the pillars, and I'm gonna eventually crack that one open and see, just not right now. It's too cold. I put my stethoscope back on, hoping for a brief couple of minutes of silence to see if I could hear them again. I thought I heard them, but it was cold, and I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I owe them a chance. So we brought the pillars home and we stood them up in hopes that what I heard was actually there. And here's when the magic happened. The next day we had a warm, sunny day. And sure enough, the bees were flying. In the next few weeks, when it starts to warm up, we're going to take this pillar and open it up and take the colony and secure it into a traditional hive in hopes that we can continue to save them. The story is not over, and there is definitely more to come. Thank you for taking the time and watching our video, and as always, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty and learn something old.